You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready?
Do you have a business or looking to start one? Establishing your online presence is key. Bluehost makes it quick and easy to get your website up and going, making it an ideal solution for beginners with its fast loading speeds and variety of features. Powering over 2 million websites, Bluehost offers a full range of hosting services, SEO, and much more, all at budget-friendly prices. Sign up today for web hosting as low as $3.95 per month. Click our link in the show notes for instant access to this incredible deal.
Welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Makita Moore.
I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
And we're back again this week where we are going to be talking about spending habits. And this is part of our series for season 2 about how we can heal as a Black community.
A melanated community.
A melanated.
I despise that term.
Melanin power. Sorry, melanated community. How can
or indigenous? How about that? We really want to start talking.
We got to meet people where they at.
Hey, man.
Okay.
It had to be fair.
This is part of our series on how we as an indigenous melanated people can continue to heal and rise to our power, recognizing what we are, and start living like it. So we talked about different ways to heal our mind, body, and spirit. We talked about how to decrease the hate between us, the violence. We talked about where the hate originated from. We covered a lot of topics. So today we're talking about spending habits and how, rethinking and reevaluating our spending habits can also help with that healing of our community. And Blair, you want to start us off with why this is an issue or how it's an issue within our community?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at other communities, they're always supporting their own. So they're constantly building. So you look at like the Asian community, they only spend in that certain community. So like their dollar is constantly in circulation. And I think it says, I had to look up the statistic, but 1 in every, I think it was 12 Asians has a business, and 1 out of every 210 Blacks has a business or something like that. Like, it's a drastic difference. So I need to find that stat so I can really get the number for you. But I mean, it really just goes back to us trying to build a business. We don't have the same opportunities as other communities to get those business loans to grow our business. So it makes it that much more important that you do support businesses that look like you, because it's important to their growth and their longevity. So even with like this pandemic going on, we've seen businesses across the country be impacted by the quarantine and all this different thing. And it's definitely affected our community. So again, it just makes it that much more important that when you see a Black business, melanated business, indigenous business, whatever you want to call it, that you support them, because that money definitely goes a long way. And also supporting that business, it reciprocates it back to your own. So if you own something, they're going to be able to reciprocate that marketing and their customer base to you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I love the way you broke that down, because it's so important to realize that with wealth, comes better foods, comes better resources, comes better health. Everything is better. So you need a certain amount of wealth to support whatever your life requires for you to be well. And if we imagine like, money, the spending is like, water flowing into something. If we're always flowing that out of our community, we're going to starve. Everything here's going to dry up. Other groups, what they do is they circulate that money within so that everything is being nourished with that constant flow, just like that water flowing around. that constant flow. So what our job is even if it takes more effort, 'cause I'm guilty of this too. I'm quick to not plan and hop on Amazon and order something when if I get better at planning or even just realizing there might be some inconvenience to it, but if I were to go to a Black owned business and, take an additional day or a couple hours, that goes a lot longer than me going to Amazon and spending that money there because we talk about wanting to see our people progress, but oftentimes we stop when it comes to our inconvenience. And it's like ultimately, if you're really down for this cause and really down for yourself, because you can't make it by yourself and feel well about that, it's going to require some of this, sacrifice initially, but knowing that it's going somewhere for value for you and everyone.
And I got that number. It's 1 out of every 10 Asians has a business. 1 out of every 158 melanated individuals has one. So that's still an incredible gap. Like that's ridiculous in the grand scheme. But it's also because of, like I said, lack of resources, lack of opportunity in many cases. So it takes a collective effort. Like it's going to take everybody supporting each other and again uniting as one. And just like we always talk about, like you're stronger together. Like it's impossible to do stuff by yourself. You can get only so far doing it by yourself, but it's a lot more powerful when you have a team.
And you know what? Like when you get that stat about businesses, well, I guess it kind of goes on both sides because I was thinking about like all the people who have their hustles, but they're just not necessarily reported to the government. I think entrepreneurship and that is ingrained in us, especially as an indigenous people. We have this creative ability, this ability to solve problems and think on a higher level. And I think it's so evidenced in, the hustle that, we see people doing, whether it is, selling whatever, drugs.
Creativity.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
is.
creativity, natural creativity that's always flowing. So you're going to find a way. So, I mean, you think about the situations that a lot of our people come from and like some of the hoods and stuff like that. When they say you got it out the mud, like you literally came from nothing. And to see somebody make it out of that, like that's a tribute to the creativity and the perseverance that we have.
Mm-hmm. To the intelligence of that
That
person
too.
to overcome and work around all those challenges. And that is why it is so important for us to support businesses of people of melanated people because it was hard to get there. It was harder than anyone else to get there. And we have to reward that. We have to praise that because that's the right path for all of us. So like I said, even if it does come at inconvenience, instead of going to the little Asian store to get your, hair products, ladies, and supporting their people, their community, why not just go, online or go down the street and order some natural products that are meant for you, truly for you. They're invested in your health, and support, a woman of color or a person of color who is selling that product.
Yeah. And I know even in these times, of course, it can be hard getting to an actual storefront. So as Makita said, there's plenty of stores online. It's just really about taking the time to try and find them, which can be difficult, I can admit. But I found one platform in Etsy that allows you to kind of sort through businesses rather easy. And you can tell a lot about the owner, about what the shop is, about their mission and all that stuff. So kind of gives you everything you're looking for in a quick screenshot. And then of course on Instagram, like Instagram is a huge marketing platform, search by hashtags Black owned. And you're liable to find pretty much any product that you're looking for outside of a few, but it's definitely a growing marketplace. You can tell that more and more are starting to get businesses when it comes to our people.
Mm-hmm. And I think another tip, in addition to going to social media and like doing hashtags to help you identify where these Black businesses are, this is also going to require you to do a little bit of pre-planning. Like, so, and this is something that we all need to be doing anyways. You need to be more intentional about, okay, what are my needs? What are like, this constantly just being aware of like what I need. That way something happens, you're not just, sitting there stuck because you
Right.
haven't been prepared. So I just think we should all just become more intentional about, okay, what are my needs? What are things what do I need to operate or be well, for the next week or so? Taking time to plan out our lives, right? Just living moment by moment by moment, but actually planning and being intentional. And when you do that, okay, then you'll start thinking ahead of time, okay, there's these, I need this, I need this, I need this. That way you can plan to have that 7 to 10 day delivery day, packaging and shipping versus like, no, I need it tomorrow. So then we're running to Amazon. And I know there probably are some Black owned businesses on Amazon, Black owned stores on Amazon, but it's still Amazon. It's not our community. So, practice that patience, practice that preparation, being intentional by committing to buying Black owned products. And I'm going to make a commitment to doing that because I know I am guilty of going on Amazon. But if I have that expectation, and I know now that I know that this is the right thing to do, given that what I value is the empowerment and the progression of melanated Indigenous people, I'm going to do what's right. And of course, I might falter, but I might go to Target or Walmart, whatever. But my intention is now to buy from within our community, because I know that in order for me to progress and me to be in the best position that I need to be in the future, I have to invest in my environment that's going to help to carry me to that place. And again, all of us ultimately are going to be creators and entrepreneurs in ourselves. So that energy that you're circulating out is coming back to you, consistently. So you're investing in yourself ultimately.
Yeah, I think that's the key, just to hit on that again, but definitely be patient. I didn't even think about that with the shipping times, but yeah, everybody doesn't have the Amazon capacity to get it to you in 2 days. So um, we got to definitely practice some more delayed gratification, just as like an
Yeah.
overall thing. But
That's actually a
um,
disease. Like the getting that immediate reward, that is inconducive to a healthy mind.
it
So it's
is.
good to plan it out and wait for it, because otherwise that constant dopamine hit, just like when you're on social media, is just bad for your brain.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I had a question. I think I guess it's kind of a statement, but I feel like another important part is, one of our problems is our incarceration rate, right? Melanated Indigenous men are incarcerated at a higher rate. And then they come out, and then it's like, okay, well, who's going to hire me? How do I, get
Mm,
money, wealth like that? This is your opportunity, right? Obviously, probably avoid doing the thing that, maybe put you in jail in the first place if you, did go to jail for breaking some law. Um, but this is an opportunity for you to be able to not let that be an excuse. And for business owners, for people of melanated descent who are opening businesses, part of your responsibility is to take care of your community, and that might require, you can't be the one turning away your brothers and sisters because they have this rap sheet that was placed on them anyways, or they're product of their environment, whatever the reason. But we have to be willing to employ our community regardless of whatever history, at the same time instilling the importance of vision and power and us working together as a community. That way that person shares your values, and there's no trust issues there. But we definitely have to help out our brothers and sisters who've been incarcerated, as part of this whole spending habits and how we circulate our money.
yeah, I mean, one thing I was going to touch on too is I know one gripe or complaint that a lot of people have with going to melanated businesses is the customer service. You hear that a lot, especially with food. Like, you might be nobody in the restaurant. I'm not gonna call it out, but it's definitely one of my favorite Caribbean cuisines. But they're notorious for it. You go in, ain't nobody in the restaurant. It's 5 people working, and it might take you 45 minutes to get a simple plate. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, what are you doing? So I do think as a whole, we have to give out the energy that we're expecting to receive too. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a business owner or when you're shopping, like, we gotta do better to uplift each other and spread better energy and take care of each other. Like if somebody's supporting your business and they're spending money with you or circulating that wealth with you, have some good customer service or be willing to give good customer service. Like that's a big piece of growing your business too. So
Yeah.
I think we definitely got to do better on that end.
Yeah, I think like you touched on the importance of the energy. Another important part of this, the spending habits is the energy that we're using when we're spending that money. Like, are you feeling like, oh, you know, I don't want to like give you this money,
Mm,
or you know, you're overcharging me, you know, stuff like that. Like you're giving that energy out when you're transmuting or sharing that money, that energy of money. You can't expect it to come back to you and flow back to you in an abundant way. You know, we're just, you know, circulating energy. That's all that money is. And I feel like I had the thought that I wonder if, you know, the way we interact with one another as a consumer and the producer within our community, is it because we've been taught these illusions of self-hate and you know, all the stereotypes. So like, you know, we would complain about somebody following us around the store, but then now when we're the store owner, we're doing the same thing to our people. So it's like then the energy just it's not good because we've been taught to like to hate one another from that perspective and not trust one another. So just I think just being aware of that too, and that'll allow you to, you know, approach your person from a space of gratitude. Like you've come into the space that I've created, something that was a vision in my mind, and now I'm producing it here. And I trust that, you know, I can provide for you as, you know, you're providing for me in this moment, rather than throwing those guards up. And then the experience sucks because both people come in there guarded based off what we've been taught.
yeah, I think you hit on another key, but knowing your worth and like also having it be okay for you to feel like you're spending a little bit more than what that person should be charging or whatever. But I think that's also part of the program. You'll spend X number of dollars on the Gucci belt, white owned company or whatever, but then you won't go and spend $30 for a t-shirt with a black owned company or whatever. Or you might spend $75 for a t-shirt at one of these designer places, but you won't spend the 25, $30 with a local store. So it's just little things like that to where it's like, what are we really spending our money on and who are we really making rich? Like it's other people really eating off of our community, and they know, okay, no different than even with shoes, but let's drop these Jordans that's been re-released for 5,000 times, but we already know we about to get 80% of this hit from this community. So it's like it's just it's sucking us dry. Like this is a multi-billion-dollar community of spending power that we have, and we're not utilizing it like other communities. So I mean, yeah, it's you hear about stuff like Black Wall Street, but like that's definitely something that's very feasible in this day and age. Like, are we gonna do it though?
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to digress from this aspect of spending habits, but when you were talking, it made me think about another aspect of spending habits, not only who we're spending our money with, but what we're spending our money on.
That too.
We are, as a melanated people, we're showy. I mean, we're kings and queens. So I feel like
I was
that's
gonna
kind
say, but it's justified. That's in our blood. Like it's in our DNA to want to shine. Like that's why people wearing diamonds. Like I'm a star. I want to shine. Like
right.
they are being who they are. So I get that. But continue. I digress.
I'm sure you could carry on right where I left off.
Yeah.
At this, so we, even though we have this desire to be flashy, like that's great, but it's the things that we're spending our money on, what are they doing for us ultimately, right? Are we spending money, like I feel like most of your money should be spent on making sure this vessel, this thing is in its wellest state, versus spending $100 on some shoes and then, you know, not wanting to spend $40 on some herbs, you know, some shoes that aren't really adding, yeah, they make you happy, but something to heal your body. And yeah. So let me not go off on a rant.
It's definitely prioritizing like what you're spending it on. And for me, I definitely prioritize health over material stuff. Like I need to, like Makita said, I need to give my body the best fuel that I can give it. So whether that's food, herbs, whatever, like I'm trying to be in optimal condition. So, and I have been. So when it comes to immune system and all that stuff, we fortified on this side. So I'm not worried about wearing a mask every time I go out in public. Like that's what an immune system is for. So
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So what you're spending your money on, it should definitely be circulating back to you in some way, and not by these materialistic ways that society is trying to program you to think are valuable, but things that are truly helping you to become healthier, stronger, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, more attuned and aligned. Um, that's what money should be spent on that side of spending habits. But Blair, did you have anything else on the other side of spending habits as far as circulating the money within our community as a means to help us continue to heal and uplift ourselves?
Um, I mean, I would say just think about some of the products that you use quite frequently, especially like beauty and healthcare products. Um, or I would say skincare products. I'm sorry, but like our lotions and stuff that we put in our hair, like you should be buying from somebody that looks like you. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you buying from somebody that don't have hair that's like yours? Like that's a
Right.
crazy concept that I just kind of figured out not too long ago, a few years. But it's like, all right, if I compare the bottles and you see all the chemicals that's in, like, let's say a Head and Shoulders versus what you could find from um the herb lady down the street that has black soap and all natural ingredients and essential oils in hers, which one do you think is better?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's certain products in certain areas, certain things that we spend our money on that we really need to be looking into our own communities. So
Yep. Because the thing is, like, you can't expect, if you're outsourcing a product from outside of our community, that product wasn't necessarily created it wasn't necessarily created to empower and uplift your community, because they're invested in their community. We should be invested in our community at, the very top priority is our community. Their community is their community because they're a part of that community. So you have to realize, like, what is the intention behind these products? Who are these products uplifting and really putting into a better position? If I'm spending money on, going to the Asia store to buy beauty products, I am investing in that community. I'm not investing in my community. It's as simple as that. And if I'm investing in my community, I'm investing in myself, because that's who's going to have my back. That's who is here for me, ultimately. So, um,
yeah, and I want to say, like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to segregate us or anything like that, because I'm not. Like, I definitely think this is a 99 versus 1 type of issue. It's not a black versus white type of thing. But at the end of the day, I do see the issue and I do see where the holes need to be fixed. So it starts with fixing our own community. So it's okay to be pro whatever you are and still be okay with everybody else.
mhm. Yeah, because honestly, like, because my thing is, I recognize that I am one. Like, we're all one. But in this dream illusion, I came down into this body for this
Exactly.
reason, where what's embedded in this avatar's DNA are things from this origin of people, to where those things are going to work best for me. Those products,
Exactly.
those ways, those understanding, those things. So while I'm trying to uplift and empower the world, I'm doing it from this perspective because I came here as this person in this lifetime. So that's what I'm invested in foremost. That's why you come here. You choose what you're going to come here as, and it doesn't mean that you don't like the other. It just means that you're coming from this perspective. So that's where your power is going to
Exactly.
operate. You know.
Exactly. Just wanted to clarify that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cool.
um, to close out this episode on spending habits, check out any Black-owned businesses. This is going to require you to plan. So be intentional about the things that you need, and take time and be patient. Whether you have to spend more or you have to wait a little bit longer, it's worth it, because if that money is going into people from our community, that then can be invested back into you. and we keep that good energy flowing within us to continue to empower and uplift us as a community. So Blair, are there any melanated owned businesses that you want to shout out? And we'll also drop these businesses in the show notes.
Of course, check out bonafidefla.com, and got plenty others. We can drop some in the show notes.
All right. And also right here, this way, check out Slick Relax Fit, another Black owned business that I support, and I eventually will come out with my own stuff so y'all can be supporting me and I can support y'all. We can continue to do what we do. And if you like the podcast, you definitely feel free to support us. I believe we have a Cash App. If not, we'll create one. That way we can continue to create content for you all, continue to learn and grow and expand on our own journey, so that way we can come back and bring that and circulate that within the community. And with that, sending you all peace and love.
Peace, peace.
Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners. Don't forget to check out our own personal brands. If you're looking to learn more about mindfulness, mindset, and meditation, catch me live on Instagram every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or schedule a free one-on-one consult with me. All that information is in the link in my bio at Makita Smiles. Also, if you're looking for anything health and wellness related, check out Blair's Instagram at 3 Layers of Wellness for links to his website and resources. And for all my Floridians, don't forget to check out bonafidefla.com. That's bonafidefla.com for all things Florida. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well. Now back to the show.